The Roman Empire was arguably one of the most dominant regimes in the history of mankind, ruling most of Western Europe and Northern Africa for almost 500 years. Central to the success of the Roman Empire was its army, the most powerful and fearsome of its time. The Romans were more interested in the practical applications of mathematics than abstract mathematics. However, they did develop their own number system, which was widely used across Europe for over 1,000 years. The Romans used letters to represent 7 different numbers, and they could then combine these letters to form other numbers. However, as you can see, this made many larger numbers difficult to write. The Romans had a rigorous mathematical structure in their army, with groups of 80 soldiers making up a centuria, commanded by a centurion. 6 centuria then grouped together to form a cohort. Finally, 10 cohorts together made up a legion. So, in total, each legion was made up of 4,800 Roman soldiers. Further to that, each legion was supported by 300 cavalry, subdivided into 10 turmae. The Romans could then determine how many men and horses were needed to form each legion, and the amount of equipment that was required for their armies. Roman soldiers carried shields to protect them in battle. There were 2 different types of shield: the clypeus, which was round or oval shaped, and the scutam, which appeared rectangular when viewed from the front, but was actually semi-cylindrical. If we straighten the semi-cylindrical shape of the scutam shield, then we can see that it is formed from a rectangle. In fact, the shields were made from thin strips of wood pressed together to create the shape of the shield. Knowing how many soldiers were going into battle allowed the Romans to be well prepared by making the required number of shields. The Roman army also used mathematics to develop distinct formations of soldiers that would give them a strategic advantage over opposing armies. The tortoise was one of the most basic formations. Soldiers would group together in a rectangular shape. The soldiers in front would hold their shields facing forwards, while all other soldiers held their shields overhead. As a result, a shell was formed around the whole group of soldiers. This was almost impenetrable by enemy projectiles. The wedge formation was a much more offensive tactic, which thinned the lines of soldiers to provide a concentration in the centre to smash through enemy lines. Other Roman army formations employed the cannae tactic, where a weak centre encouraged the enemy to attack through the middle. Another tactic involved having a strong right flank to break through the opposition's left flank by rolling around the enemy and attacking from the rear. Knowledge of these formations and a basic mathematical understanding of how many men were needed to form each formation helped Roman generals to command their armies, and that helped to maintain their dominance for so long.